So in this place I'm going to show you the practical example of arrays and how we can create it, how we can make it, how we can take input from users and give values to your arrays, and how to print it, and how to add values to a specific position, and how to delete from any specific position, all of those in practical. So let's start with the arrays. So first you need to go to an application called CodeBlocks, which is really good for C programming and C++ in general. So go to file and go to new and empty file and press Ctrl S and write array underscore yt, because I'm making this for YouTube. Okay, so you can increase the size of your text, so you can increase and decrease it using the control plus mouse ruler. So at first you need to write hash include stdio.h. This is the standard library function for C. So I hope in data structure you already know the basic of C language. It will be really helpful to implement your data structures and algorithm in this program. So integer main function. So in all C code you need to write a simple main function and include stdio.h, and then we start our main array. So first step is create an array. Okay, so how we can create an array? Integer, its type and its variable name, and you can any size, suppose 10 is equals to 1 2 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Total 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 elements. So total 10 elements. So the size of this is equals to the size of this we have given. This is the size of the array and these are the initializations part. Okay, so this is just a simple array. Okay, so how can you print that? For that you need to use a for loop, and for counter we are using integer I for counting. Okay, so for I is equals to 0, I less than 10, and because there are total 10 elements here, so it should be less than 10, and I plus plus for increment. Then we can write printf to print any element, and %d so that it is printing integer values. Okay, and we are printing the array that we declared here, this array. This is the third bracket or the square bracket we are using for indexing. This is I for indexing. So it will go to the loop and it will see if I is equals to 0. If I is equals to 0, it will print 1, then it will increment, it would be 1, and this position is 1 position and it will print 2, and from then it will go up to 10th position. It will print every single element in the array. So this is the thing that you need to understand. We need to use for loop so that we can print all of the elements one by one. First 0 index element 1 would be printed, then 2 would be printed, then 3 would be printed up to 10. The size is given here. Okay, so up to this position. So this is the condition that we are using. So we need to print %d so that we can print the integer values and arrays of I. This array means we are printing the values in the array variables. Okay, and this one is the for indexing, for I indexing, because I hold first 1 and then next increment it is holding 2 and the next increment it is holding 3, so it will print all of them. So let's run this. So click on this button and see it is printing all of your values. So you can use one space here and one space here so that you can print perfectly. So it is printing 1 2 3 up to 10. Okay, so here we are declaring an array of integer type of size 10, and we are just initializing it, and we are using an I variable so that we can use for loop. Okay, so this is the for loop that we're using to print all the items in our array. But this is just a simple array. We want to print something more extra. Okay, so I want a user input from the user. So we want to create an array from user input. Okay, so we are creating an array from user input from now. So how can we do that? So first we need to use two variables. One is integer size. Okay, so integer size. So this is our variable that will hold the size of our array. That's why we are taking it integer size, and integer I is for incrementing the values for in the for loop. For using that, I want to printf enter the size of array. Okay, so we are using enter the size of array in scanf. Using the scanf, we can take the values from the user. So you're using %d so that we can enter the user input from the user, and we are using percentage size. This percentage size is useful when you want to store the values in this size variable and from the user. So from taking some input from the user, you need to use percentage size behind this variable so that we can take input from the user properly. So here I'm giving the size of the array to the user. So how many want to size they want to add. Suppose it can be any size. They can use 5, 10, 15, anything they want. And for taking all the input, we need to use another for loop. Okay, so for I is equals to 0, and this time it would be I less than size. Suppose our size is 5, so it will take 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, these 4 variables. Okay, if you give size of 4, it will take 0, 1, 2, 3, these 4 values. Okay, so the size would be 1 less and plus plus. So here you need to add all the inputs from the given size. Suppose I'm giving it size 5, so I am taking all the 5 inputs from user one by one in the for loop. So you need to use scanf again so that we can take input from users, and ampersand array. Okay, now our array need to have a proper size, array of I, so that we are taking inputs, and our this array we have to declare it in this place, integer array of size. After you give the size to this array, it will be stored here of array size, and in this array size you are just adding all the elements. So these 3 variables are very important. Size is for how much size you want to add, integer I for the for loops you want to use that, and the %d is for taking the input from the user of the size, and integer array size, this is the variable that we want to store in the array, and its size is given by the user. Okay, and it will increment up to the size given by the user, and within that size the user will input all the values in the array. Suppose they will input first 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, up to their size. So this is super important. So they will use all those techniques. So you need to use 2 for loops, first to get all the values from the user within this given size. Okay, and within this given size all the values would be added in this array. And remember, this percentage would be there if it is scanf, so that you are getting all the inputs. And this array will take one input from the user, and then it will increment and then take another input from the user, and I will be incremented and it will take another input from the user up to this size. Okay, and then it will just print up to this size variable. I is equals to 0 up to this size, and it will just increment and print all these values. And for printing, you just printf %d because it is integer type, and it will print all the values in an array. Suppose it will store 0 in 0 index, it will store 1 in 2 is index number 2, it will store 10, and it will increment so on. Okay, so it will print all the values in your array that you have given input in this for loop one by one. Okay, so these 2 for loops are super important in learning, in understanding in array. Okay, so these are the main thing that you to understand. So after that you can just run this, and you can enter the size of your array. Okay, suppose I am entering 5 elements. So in 0 index I am telling I am storing 10, in 1 index I am storing 20, in index number 2 I am storing 30, in index number 3 I am storing 40, and index number 4, because our size is 5, our index should be at least 4, it will not go beyond this, because our main condition was I should be less than size. So in index 4 we will continue. This is our final. This is 0 index, 1 index, 2 index, 3 index and 4 index. Less than 1, then the size. Okay, so if you hit enter, it will just print all the values 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. All the 5 items would be printed properly, and I have given all the inputs from the user, so that user can input and get the proper output of their arrays. So these are the main thing that to understand. You need to just two for loop, one for user input, one for printing all the values that the user given here. Now our creation of an array from the user input is complete. Let's delete this one, and now we're gonna insert an element. Insert element. So for that we need to take one more integer values or the variables. Integer number. This number is the number that we want to add in our array. Okay, and we want to take another integer which is position. So you can write simply this way. Let me clear all those out. Integer number that we want to add, and the position you want to enter this number variables. Okay, and the I for incrementing, and this size is for taking the size of the array. So you can do this like this, and our array is based on this size. Okay, so you will take all those values from the users, and then you want to add element. So in this place we want to add our element. Okay, so here I'm gonna add the element. The element would be like, before adding element to the array, first we need to take the input from the user. So this is the for loop that we are taking all the inputs from the user. Now I want to add the position, at which position we want to add the element. So for that, printf enter the position. Okay, enter the position. Then we need to use scanf to take users from the array, and ampersand position. This position is taking the position from the user at which place we want to add the number. Okay, this number I want to add. At which position? At this position that the user is defined. Now our number to be inserted. So here we'll write the number that we want to add. So first we need to printf enter the number to be inserted. Okay, and we are taking this as well using %d and ampersand number. So here we are taking the number, that which number I want to add in the element, and for this we are taking the position, at which position the number goes to. So this is the main logic. Suppose I have this kind of array 5, 10, 20, 25, 30 and 35. Suppose I want to add 22 here. So how can we do that? 22. So this is 5, this is 10, this is 20, and then we add our 22 here. 22 at position number 3. This is position 0, this is 1, 2 and 3. At 3 position we want to insert 22, and in 4th position we have the 25, and in 5th position we have 30. Okay, so this is the thing, we want to add 22 at this position inside of 25. So 25 is going to the right side, 30 is going to its right side. Okay, so you can write I, so it is going to its one of its right side. So you can write our array of I minus 1, or you can say plus 1. So because it is incrementing one position, 1 inside of array of I. So this array of I is holding the position of 3. In 3 position we are holding 22. Okay, so this is the main thing, that we are incrementing our arrays one position in the right side. So 22 would go here, and 25 would come here and 30 would come here. So this is the main logic. All of those values that you want to add at this position would go to the right side. So 25 would go right, 30 go to right, and 10, 25 would stay here as long as they are okay, and 22 would be inside of 25, and 25 would go its right side. That's why we're writing array I plus 1 inside of our main array, okay, so that it moves to the right side. So this is the main. So now we'll write our main logic. So in this logic I want to write for loop I is equals to size I is greater than or equals to position and I plus plus, and it will start from I is equals to size, and it will start from I is equals to size. Suppose size is 10, and as long as the I is greater than or equals to the position, we just decrement. Here we will use decrement, not increment, because we are staying from size, from the back side total size, and it will just decrement one by one till its position, okay, till its position. And in this case we are just using our array, an array of I minus 1. So we are indexing like that way. Array of I minus 1 would be stayed in the current array, same as before. And we need to write array of position minus 1 is equals to number. This number that we want to add in our array would be position minus 1. At 2 index I want to add, suppose 10. So position minus 1, it means that 2 minus 1 at it is equals to 1 position, I want to add 10, okay. So this means that at position minus 1 I want to add 10 elements. So our elements, suppose in 0 index I have 10, in 1 index I have 20, in index number 2 we have 30, and index number 3 we have 40. So this index, at index number 0, 1 and 2 I want to add this 10, okay. So it will stay position minus 1, so 10 would be go here behind the 30, because at 30 position we are adding the 10, so 30 will go to the right side, so 10 will go to the left side, so it would be position minus 1, okay. Here we'll adding the number. Then you need to increase the size plus plus, because you are adding elements in this array, so the size of the array would be increased. So in this way you can insert elements in any position that you want. Also it will work just fine. Just run and see what's happening. So here you will use the enter the size of your array 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and enter the position. This is 0 position, 1 and 2. At 2 position I want to add 25. So as you can see, at position minus 1, position is 0, 1, 2, so position minus 1, at 20 we are having 25, because position is 2, so it will input our 25 in position number 1, because our logic is position minus 1, okay. So in position minus 1, so 0, 1, in one position we are adding this 25, okay. So suppose in another input I have 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50, and our position is, suppose in position of 30, which is 1, 2 and 3 position, I want to add 25. So at position number 3 I want to add 25. So position number 3, so 30 will go to the right side, so 1, 10, 20, and then we have 25, because position minus 1, position is 0, 1, 2, 3, so before 30 we are having this 25. So this is the main thing, that you understand in which position you want to add the elements. So position is 0, 1, 2 and 3, so this 3 position, so position is 3 minus 1, which is at 2 position we're adding the 25, and 30 would go increment by 1, okay. So it 30 minus 1, in position minus 1 we are adding this 25. Suppose here you want to delete this 20 element which is at position 0 1 2. At position 2 you want to delete this element, and if you delete this element it would be like, so see what will happen, 5 10, and in 20 we will have 30. Okay, we have 30 here in the position of 20, and 40 would be position of 30. Okay, so this is the 40. So this would be your main array. All of your values in the right index, which is 30 and 40, will go its previous index. If it is position 3 index, then it will go to the 2 index. If it is index number 4, then it will go into the 3rd index. So 4 index is going to the 3rd index, and 3rd index is going to the 2 index, because 20 is deleted. Now we have 5 10 30 and 40. 20 is deleted, so in place of 20 index we have 30, and in place of 30 we have 40. So all the elements on the right is going to the left. So what would be the main logic? It would be array of I is equals to array of I plus 1. So I plus 1 is this position we want to delete at position 2. I plus 1 is this 3. Okay, so I plus 1 will go to its current index, which is this index. So I plus 1 would be assigned to I index of 2. So in previous index, so 2 is the previous index or the current index then to delete. So in the place of 2 we are adding the I plus 1, which is 30. So 30 will come to its previous index, 40 will come to its previous index. So I plus 1, it means that is afterwards index will go to its original index that want to delete. So that is the main logic. So in code, in place of our main logic, we're just deleting this for loop and these things as well. So our main deleting logic, so we don't need to add this number because we are not adding any number. So we use position that want to delete I and size. This is the position they want to delete. Enter the position to delete. Here take input from user at which position to delete. We don't need this because we are not adding an element, so we don't need that. Our main logic would be for I is equals to position minus 1, I less than size minus 1, and I plus plus. It means that we are going from I is equals to position minus 1. The position suppose 2, so it will start from 1 position and it will go up to size minus 1. Suppose our size is 10, it will go up to 9 suppose, and up to that it will increment 1 by 1. Okay, so in this condition we need to write our main logic, which is array of I, our current index that we want to delete. In this position we will assign array of I plus 1. So its afterwards index would be on the current index we want to delete. So that is the main thing. So our main element would be deleted, and after that you need to just write size minus minus because our size is decreased after you delete this element. So after that you can see our element would be deleted easily. So let's run this and enter your size, which is 5 10 20 30 35 and 40. Suppose I want to delete this 30, which is position 1 2 and 3. See, our 1 2 and 3, 30 is deleted, and in the place of 30 we have 35, and in the place of 35 we have 40. Now this 4 element. So the deleting is simple, just your 2 lines of code, which is for I is equals to position minus 1 and I will go till size minus 1 and I plus plus, and in this case we are just adding its next element to the element we want to delete. So we're just shifting our elements in the array, and we're just decreasing the size so that we can see because our element is deleted, so we have to decrease the size. So these are the main logic they need to delete. These are all the things that you need to be done. So first you need to create element in an array using the user input. Then you need to add elements in the array at position or anything like that, and then you need to know how to delete any elements from any specific position in an array. So these are all the things that you need to know in this array, so that you can master the array and be really good in data structures and algorithm. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll be covering stacks and queue in the next video. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll be coming in the next tutorial with a lot of amazing content. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll be coming with the next video.